All right, good evening. We are back in open session. First item on the agenda is the Pledge of Allegiance. Please stand. Ms. Mastrangelo, would you please lead us in the pledge?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, next item on the agenda is the approval of the agenda. And we do have some changes. And under item 10, consent calendar, item B1, report of certificated employment. There was a error. A site for Monica Salas should be LBE. And the update has been posted on the website. On item C of the consent calendar, certificated contracts that are being approved tonight for next year's contracts. That list is going to be updated, or has been updated, and it will be posted probably Tuesday or Wednesday of next week with the changes on it. But that has been updated with the certificated contracts. Dr. Marshall, is there any other?
No further changes.
No more changes. Thank you. Seeing none, I'll need a motion to approve the agenda as corrected and amended. We have Ms. Benton.
I make a motion that we approve as amended.
Right, I need a second.
I'll second that.
All right, we have a motion by Ms. Benton, seconded by Ms. Smith to adopt the agenda, approve the agenda as amended and corrected. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? It passes unanimously. Thank you. If you are watching this meeting right now, you figured out how to get here. If you are at home and you're looking at this, or tomorrow or the next day or whatever, if it's not April 14th at 7 o'clock, and you're watching this on April 15th, 9 o'clock in the morning, it's because there's been a change. Here at City Hall, we do not have the ability to do a direct feed onto our district YouTube. So what's happening is if you are watching this meeting right now, you probably clicked on the link that's at the top of your agenda. And if you don't have an agenda, it is available on the district website under the Board of Education tab. And it actually has a link to our agenda. And you can actually go there and click on the link at the top of the agenda. That'll get you to this meeting live and in person. If you didn't get there and you want to know how to do it next time, that's how you do it. So tonight, if you are watching us right now live, you figured it out. If you're not and you are looking at us on YouTube tomorrow or after that, we will be on YouTube on the district's website, on the district's YouTube channel starting tomorrow. And that's going to be the new procedures that we're following from now on, now that we're back at City Hall. City Hall does not have the capability of doing a direct feed to our YouTube channel live. So we're going to have to follow this procedure. So you can go to the, like I said, district website and get the link. And if you want to, and you can find it, you can go to lasbanas.org, which is the city website, and you can find a direct link to the city's YouTube channel, and you can do live that way. So let me just explain why some of you may not be watching this live in your home going, I can't get it. Where is it? And when I turn on my phone after this meeting, I'll have a bunch of texts and emails about I couldn't watch the meeting live. Well, the whole process has been changed. We found out just recently that none of these things are the same as they've been in the past. So that's kind of explanation of what's happening and kind of new for us. But we're back at City Hall, which is cool. So we're really happy to do that. So any member of the public that wishes to have an item placed on the agenda may do so by notifying the superintendent at least 2 weeks prior to a regularly scheduled meeting with all the information that you would like to have placed on the agenda, and your item will be considered for consideration to be placed on a future agenda. Members of the public who are here tonight that wish to make a comment about any item that's on our agenda may do so when that item is up before the board. And when you want to do that, please come up and stand either at the podium off to the side if there's other people there, and you will be called. Everybody will have 3 minutes each to speak, with a total of 20 minutes per agenda item. Off under this monitor over here is a timer, and when you are speaking, you'll have 3 minutes, and that timer will let you know when your time is up. Any member of the public that wishes to address the board on any item that is not on tonight's agenda may do so by approaching the podium and letting us know your agenda item. And if there are multiple speakers on an non-agenda item, then the same 20-minute rule applies. Everybody has 3 minutes for a total of a maximum of 20 minutes for each non-agenda item, that if there's multiple speakers. So with that, is there anybody here tonight that wishes to address the board on any item that is not on tonight's agenda? Seeing no one come forward, we're going to continue on. And next item is our student represent report. Jacinta, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good, welcome.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Go ahead, you're on.
Okay, so first up, we have Pacheco High School's board report for the month of March. Pacheco FFA is in full fair mode. We have roughly 60 students who will be exhibiting animals at the upcoming May Day fair. Students have been working hard to prepare their animals and get ready for the fair. 7 students were recognized for earning their state FFA degrees, the highest honor the state FFA can bestow on its members. These students have worked hard for 3 to 4 years, and it has paid off. Over spring break, 8 students attended the State FFA Convention in Sacramento with almost 6,000 people in attendance. For 4 days, students experienced leadership workshops, industry tours, keynote speakers, and were able to vote on FFA business and the state officers for next year. It was amazing to be back in person. Our BIG and Veggie teams wrapped up in their judging season at Fresno State and showed substantial growth over the year. Pacheco FFA is looking forward to a successful remainder of the school year. Pacheco Thespian Society performed Into the Woods 4 times in March to wonderful crowds. The Thespian Society would like to thank all the people who came out to support them during the play's run. On March 24th, Pacheco High School was the site of the district band concert. It was a privilege to host such amazing and talented students on campus performing for family and friends in the Brett Lee Gym. The Mesa team of Elizabeth Gonzalez, Komalpreet Sandhu, and Diana Torres competed together in Math Escape Room and the new Moon-based competition. They were able to take 3rd place in Math Escape and 1st place in the Moon Base. These 3 young ladies will be representing Pacheco High School at the regional competition that will be held at Fresno State on April 2nd. Pacheco High students picked up 4 of the 5 winning slots in Pacheco State Parks Art Contest, including first prize to Ailina Abanafi, second prize Alyssa Medina tied with Hanadegli Gomez, and third prize Melinda Sandoval Tobias. Pacheco High's Athletes of the Month for March were Tyrell Jenkins Jr. and Arissa Ruiz. Both are having great seasons in their respective sports. And that concludes Pacheco's report. On to Los Banos High School for the month of March. S Club hosted the Prom Boutique on March 3rd and 4th. S Club from Los Banos High School and Pacheco collaborated to make this event happen. Students were able to come and look at prom attire and take home a free dress and other formal items for prom. It was a very successful event. S Club is hoping to host 2 of these events next year, one before winter formal and one before prom. Band had their spring concert on March 9th. Winter percussion, winter guard, jazz band, and concert band. Sandria Afonso Stiers won the Zone Line Speech Contest on March 10th. She will be moving on to the sectional competition on March 21st. Students are participating in March Mammal Madness between March 14th through April 6th. Students are are completing their brackets based on different species, adaptations, behavior, etc. Results will be sent out when March Mammal Madness ends in April. March 21st, choir sang for the CTA Diversity Reception in Merced. On March 24th and 25th, California Highway Patrol and ASB collaborated to host and plan out Every 15 Minutes, which is a program for the juniors and seniors at Los Banos High School. Every 15 Minutes brings to life the severity of drinking and driving. Los Banos High School had almost 30 students that participated in this event, and all juniors and seniors watched the event unravel. On March 24th, there was a mock car crash set up, and 30 students that participated in the event were taken to an overnight retreat where they had guest speakers talk with them. On March 25th, juniors and seniors attended a mock funeral for their classmates. Guardians of the participants attended the mock funeral and spoke in honor of their deceased children. Sports news. Larry Borelli was selected as the Merced Sunstars Wrestler of the Year. The Tigers had eight others earn Sunstar All-Area status. Anissa Sanchez and America Ordunez for girls basketball, Emily Pardini in girls soccer, and Alana Watkins, Kiara Daniels, Maggie Hernandez, Jake Magana, and Raymond Fernandez for wrestling. The girls wrestling team was recognized by the section for having the highest team GPA in their sport. The team received an academic banner, which was presented to them at the section's board of the governor's meeting. And lastly, Anissa Sanchez was selected to play in a county all-star basketball game on May 6th. The team will be coached by LB's head coach and her mom, Lorinda Sanchez. And that concludes my board report.
Jacinta, thank you very much. And this is your last board meeting.
I know.
We're going to miss you.
I'm going to miss you guys too.
So do you have plans next year?
I did, well, I'm going to be a senior next year, so I did reapply to be back here. So I'll find out at the end of this school year whether or not I make it back on our board. I hope we do, because I love seeing you guys. I love
We'll
speaking.
see you too. Well, even if you might come back, we have a parting gift. So thank you very much. And you've done a great job this year.
Thank you.
We really appreciate all the great things you say and your
Thank you.
your great personality and smile. Thank you so much for doing that.
Thank you.
And you bring a little sunshine to us. So we have this for you. Excuse me, Jessica. There you go. And we appreciate everything you've done. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
And you can hang around or you can go home, whatever you want to do.
I'm
So
hanging
it's your
around
pleasure.
today.
Good. All right. California School Employees Association, do we have a report tonight? Seeing no one come forward? All right, thank you. Los Banos Teachers Association, a report tonight. Seeing no one, all right. Gone on to the superintendent's report. Dr. Marshall.
Okay, thank you. You can hear me here. This last month, we made the transition, like a lot of districts in the country, with the mask being removed, being optional. And I'm happy to report it was a very smooth transition. I mean, very smooth. I mean, in terms of the expectation was that we show respect to each other, and that's what we did. And because we had no incidents, so I'm very proud of our school community on that note. We're making a transition back to some normalcy, bringing things back. I had a chance to attend Read Across America, the Ag Days at the elementary sites. I mean, we started to bring things back. This past weekend, I went to the Merced County. They had an honor choir, and I was pleased to see we had a lot of students from our high schools in that choir. You know, very good afternoon. We had an every 15 minutes assembly at Los Banos High School. That's a very powerful assembly. The kids really enjoyed it in terms of, and really got what the purpose of it was, to make them aware as far as the dangers of drinking and driving and, you know, bad choices. We have a Miano teacher, Mr. Sergio D'Alba. He was selected in the National Teachers Hall of Fame. They give that award to 5 teachers annually in the nation. And we have one of them at Los Banos, Miano, in our district, in Los Banos School District. Sergio will get to attend an award ceremony in DC and another venue. So really that's an accolade for the school district. A lot of our students at Pacheco High School, Los Banos Junior High School, they have competed in the MESA competitions, and they've at the regional level and at the first level. Pacheco High School, as reported previously, they had, in the art contest, 4 to 5 winning slots went to our students. I want to point that out. At Los Banos High School, the San Joaquin Interscholastic Federation, they recognized female wrestling at Los Banos High School. I think Mr. Waltman, Mr. Barcelos, and Mr. Castro, the coach, and the student, they were invited to the Board of Managers meeting and Lodi. I mean, that's, again, I want to highlight all the good things that we have happen here. One thing I didn't do last month, I'll do it tonight. I want to recognize, sitting in the front, Ms. Moreno, Carolina Moreno. She's our new director of EL and English language and migrant education. So I want to recognize her. And I think she'll do a fantastic job. So let's give her a round of applause, please. You all aware of the Senate Bill 328 and the late start requirement for our secondary sites? Our schools, we've been working on that. I want to thank all of our teachers, classified staff. They've worked, we worked as a team, and we've come up with a schedule. It's going to require like a 20-minute shift. The schools have kind of come up with their schedules, and we'll be getting those out to the parents in the very near future. So again, I want to thank all of our stakeholders for that process. A lot of districts had a hard time with that, but we did well with that. Thank you, Mr. Verduzco. You kind of facilitated that process, so we appreciate that. Okay? The final thing I want to say in my report tonight, and I mean this with 100%, 100+%. When you see districts across the country that have gone through this phase, this whole pandemic thing, from the start to the finish, and then to hear about challenges that people went through, I'm talking about schools that districts had to stop. But we made it. So I want to say to our principals that are sitting here, to our teachers, our classified staff, we couldn't have done this without teamwork. Thank you to the board as far as for kind of basically setting the direction, setting the expectation, the framework. It really is a team effort, and the Los Banos community, we stepped up. So I want to just put that out there. I mean, we all have a reason to hold our heads up high. That's why it wasn't a big shift when the mask came, when it became optional. That's why it wasn't a problem for us, because the foundation had been set from the beginning. So I just want to just point that out and say thank you to everyone. So everyone, be safe, and we'll see you all next Tuesday. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Marshall. Facility report. Amir.
Good evening. Lofton Stadium, Phase 1. The plan is with DSA, Department of State Architect. The review process will be completed by the end of April. After the approval of the plan, next step will be bidding out the project for construction. HME parking lot. The consultant is finishing the last phase of the electric design. Then the district will start the construction phase. The last one is PHS building addition. Currently, the construction is in framing process. At the same time, electrical and plumbing is in progress. Next step of the process will be roofing. Thank you. That's my report.
Any questions on facilities? All right. Thank you. On to board members' report. Tonight, let's start. Mr. Munoz, go ahead.
Hello, everybody. Yeah, I'd like to start with every 15 minutes over at Los Banos High School. I attended that presentation, and I have to admit, I was really impressed, really powerful. It really hit home on me, too. I kind of choked. Hearing the testimonies of mothers, parents, and losing their kids on negligence of our own kids, drinking and driving, and plus other people on the road. But I have to admit, it sticks in my mind. Sometimes after this, I've got in my vehicle and decided not to buckle up. And what a feeling you get being not protected. Because anything can happen. According to this, anything can happen at any time of day. And so just experiencing not wearing a safety belt, okay, wow, it just makes you think. So I wear my safety belt. Put it on every day. But a powerful presentation. I was really impressed. Also, I'm a representative for the Los Banos Unified School District on the MCSBA, it's Merced College School Board Association. Okay, and it's what we do. We hold conferences, okay, we hold spring dinners for districts that build a new building, a new school, an auditorium, whatever it is. Okay, they get chosen to celebrate. Okay, the dinner was over in Gustine Middle School, in Gustine. Okay, that was on March 23rd. Okay, we had a tour of the multipurpose gym that they built. Beautiful, beautiful building. It was great. We had a Gustine Elementary School students performance, and that was very nice. They did a really good job. Okay, we welcome introductions to the MCSBA conference information approved for pay for the dinner. Okay, we also discussed mini grants and board member recognition. Now, on the mini grants, what we do, MCSBA, every year we give away $10,000. And we let, throughout the districts, teachers apply for these mini grants on projects that they have for their classrooms. And that's one of the things that we do. And at conferences, we hold valuable information to improve our district, the education of our students. So this is what I belong to. And I got to say, I have a lot of fun with it. And that's my report. Thank you.
Thank you. We're kind of heading towards the home stretch of our last few months. The end of the year is coming really quickly. And I've been reflecting on this past year. We've been through a lot in the past few years, and I'm really proud of our staff and students. I see a lot of negativity out there right now, and I just want to take a moment to really look at our positive. This district is doing a lot of really great things. We have graduation rate over 90%, and I would put that up against any district or any state. I think that I read today that the average for the United States graduation is 84%. We have students going on to Ivy League colleges. They're getting full scholarships. We have amazing athletes. We have strong competitors in our academic competitions. We have great AP scores and so many creative students. Our staff does a wonderful job meeting all of our students' needs wherever they are. We provide facilities and events for the community and bring them together and give our students a safe place to be. I don't have time to go into everything that our district does for the families and students of our city, but I want to thank everyone, parents, students, staff, teachers, for all your hard work and adaptability during this pandemic. Each and every one of you has been an integral part of our students' success. Thank you so much. That's it.
All right, thank you, Ms. Benton. Ms. Smith.
Hey, good evening. I'd like to say that I've been enjoying myself. I've been spending a lot of time at the baseball games, Pacheco Unified School District, girls and boys teams. I've been spending my weekends at invitational track meets. Wonderful event. I've been having a good time. Outside in the sunshine, your kids love it. The kids in this district love it. I had the opportunity to be at Pacheco High School this past week for their career day. I work in education at the Hospital for Diabetes Management and Obesity. So I prepared my spin wheel, kind of like a casino wheel, with questions that the kids got to answer. I had the majority of the kids at my table. It had nothing to do with the candy that I gave them if they won. I gave them gifts, and it was candy. Had nothing to do with that, but they really came out and showed a lot of support. They were very interested in who I was and what I do. It made me feel really good because they knew that I was on the board, but they didn't know anything about me. And they had an opportunity to ask. And I felt really good sharing my life with some of your students. And I look forward, and I was even actually asked by a teacher if we'd be interested as a board to present ourselves to her class so they can ask us about who we are and what we do. I love that invitation. I love to do that. So I'm not sure of what her name is, but if she's watching, I'm telling everybody here that we'll do that, right? We'll do that. We'll come out and support the students and let them know who we are. It was a great event, and it was a real connection there. I really connected with those students. I got to go see Into the Woods over at Pacheco High School, another great performance that our students put out. And I like to say to Mr. Dialba, congratulations. He seems like he constantly gets awards for his hard work, and it's well deserved. And it shows in the district. His gardening and his horticulture skills is wonderful, and we love it. And I think that's it for me. Mark Benton made everybody these desserts up here. I've been on a diet because I'm actually getting married in a couple months, and that's a problem, Mark. It's a real problem. But yeah, because so far so good. Things are going pretty well. So what is it? Is it gluten free?
No.
Are they that? No? Sugar free? Carb free? Anything? Okay, I'll take it. Okay. They just look great. So anyway, Easter's coming. Everybody have a wonderful, safe Easter weekend. And I won't say God bless you, but that's what I would say. But, have a good weekend.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Smith. On to Ms. Moran.
Good evening, everyone. I just want to, first of all, thank everyone that submitted scholarships. I was on the scholarship committee, and so I read numerous applications. And let me tell you, reading their stories, their message for tonight is to them. They're inspiring. Like, I was reading these. Some of these almost made me like in tears in terms of just the great resilience that these students have. I think that sometimes we forget about that, right? So we move on with our lives and we become adults and we forget about those stories that we all have as we were going through our grade school. So, just really wanted to reach out and say thank you. Thank you for allowing us to read your stories of resilience, balance. I mean, these kids are doing amazing things. If I, had $1 million, I'd be like all of them. It's really hard to make choices, but they're balancing on campus, off campus activities to prove their extracurricular activities, right? Because we're ingrained that if you want to succeed, you need to do all those things to check all those boxes. But these people come with a passion, so they're doing this because they're really wanting to show that they have a passion and how that ties to their career. So to me personally, it was very, very inspiring. So everyone out there, and also part of Rotary as well. So then I had another set to read through there. So I want to say thank you to all of them and all the students in their districts. I love seeing all the emails about, getting back a running marathon, I think at the junior high. And so it's just amazing to see just the enthusiasm and what can happen after a pandemic from students. Because sometimes, I think about my own life and, sometimes it's the smallest things and we make a big deal out of nothing, right? So thank you and have a great long weekend. So keep it short.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Moran. On to Mr. Lieb.
Good evening. I want to start by just thanking the City of Los Banos for allowing us to use their facility for our school meetings, school district meetings. They don't have to do that, so it's very nice that they're allowing us. I, too, attended the March 23rd Merced County School Board Spring Dinner in Gustine. And then on the 24th, I attended the Every 15-Minute program at the Los Banos High for all the juniors and seniors. And thank you to all the first responders, student actors, parents, teachers, administrators who made this event possible. I always watch the faces as I'm taking pictures. I always watch the faces of the students during the event, and there were a few that were crying. And I'm not crazy about adding to the stress level of the students, but if this event keeps one student from drinking and driving, then it's worth it. So thank you for that program. On April 7th, I thoroughly enjoyed band stravaganza. I've always wanted to say that word. So band stravaganza at Pacheco High, listening to all the school bands at all grade levels, winter percussion and winter guard performances. Mr. Faria may be retiring at the end of this year, but he's leaving the district in great hands with many talented music teachers, which we were privy to their talent leading these students. On April 9th, Saturday, students of the recently chartered Los Banos Junior High School FFA, led by FFA teacher Adam Jacobo, volunteered at the annual Autism Meet and Greet with first responders at the Los Banos City Fire Station 1. And at the same time, the city of Los Banos held the Great Los Banos Egg Scramble at Oliveira Park. And I went from one event to the other, and so did many parents because they were commenting that they've seen me at both events. And the Los Banos Police Department now has 2 new canine officers One of the canine dogs is named Duke and was at the first responder event with his 1.5-year-old Belgian Malinois. It's a form of a German Shepherd. Very nice dog, and was definitely the hit of the event. The school kids were all over the dog. The handler let them pet it and play with it, and so it was great. On April 12th, I attended the career fair at Pacheco High, and I was impressed with the variety of career professionals explaining their trades, as well as the colleges and the military options available to all the graduating seniors. This morning, I attended the Ag Day at Miano Elementary. According to Donaldo Souza, who helped start the event, this is the 7th year, this could be the 8th year, of the Miano Ag Day. It is now being coordinated by Linda Silva, the librarian. So thanks to Linda and Principal Diaz Harper, who I met, who I didn't realize was from Delhi, which I spent 14 years in Turlock, so I probably ran across her and didn't even know it. Anyway, and all the advisors and everyone else who had a hand in this event and to make it successful, thank you. Also, a special thanks to Hans Younts and Morningstar Packing Company for the new digital sign that they put up at Miano. And prior to Ag Day this morning, there was a sign dedication ceremony in front of the school, and it included Supervisor Silvera, Mayor Faria, and members of the Los Banos VFW and American Legion. They conducted an American flag raising ceremony. If you've ever seen, they take big pride in the American flag and raising the flag at all of our schools. So thank you to everyone for that event. And the last thing, similar to what Dr. Marshall said, very sincerely here, the last thing I'd like to say is that in life, we get to decide if the glass is half empty or half full. Every morning we wake up, we get to decide. If you listen to the recent events that I just listed, I hope you will agree that in Los Banos School District and with all of its employees are working very hard in keeping the glass full. And that is my report.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Lee. On to Mr. Martinez.
All righty. Thank you for joining us this evening. I'd like to, first of all, piggyback on Dr. Marshall's accolades to our staff and students for their accomplishments. Again, just amazing, and I just want to congratulate each and every one of you. Regarding this last COVID year, again, it wasn't easy for anybody. Our district did come together, a lot of teamwork. Everybody did their part for the most part, and we pulled through, and we fared better than most. So, again, congratulations to everybody there. I got to attend a recent firehouse presentation at Pacheco, which I thought was important. We all have to understand the dynamics regarding gang awareness and how it affects our district and our youth, and so I got to attend that. Other than that, happy Resurrection Easter weekend. Yeah.
Thank you. Without repeating what everybody just said, I just want to hit a couple of things. I had the opportunity to once again, I think this was the 4th time that they had the all-district band concert, and this is the 4th time they had it, and this is the 4th time I got to MC the event, which is always fun. Like I say, never give a band director a microphone because we get carried away. But it was a great opportunity to be part of that program, and it was really great seeing students out and parents out again. And I know, in the last few weeks, our schools are coming alive. We're finally getting the opportunity to showcase our students and showcase the talent that we have in our district, whether it's a band concert or the other things I'm going to mention in a second. It's an opportunity to get people back on our campuses, and the kids are excited to do performances. Kids are excited to do presentations, and so it was really great to be part of that, and great to see the enthusiasm of all the students and all the parents that were there that night. It was a great night to kind of showcase some of the talents of our students. I also attended Pacheco High School Career Day, and I remember way back, career days was a lot of times focused on colleges, and it was, they brought in all the colleges, and it was kind of geared toward those students that were going to go on to college. What I was, and it's been this case that has, it's been the last few years, both Los Banos High School and Pacheco High School in their career days, they're the versatility and the versatile of all the groups that are there representing different organizations and different careers. It's so nice to see that, all of our students, there were colleges there. A number of colleges were there, but we also had, truck driving school and forklift drivers school, and there was, a hospital. There was a company from Merced that builds farm equipment. There were all of the military organizations represented there. So there was lots of opportunities for students to look at colleges, also to look at other career opportunities. So whoever is in charge, and I know who they are, but I can't remember exactly their names, so I'm not going to mention a name and make a mistake, because I'm sure there's multiple people involved in setting up those career fairs. Thank you for doing a great service to our students and bringing other opportunities and multiple opportunities for our students to look at after they leave high school. So thank you for doing that. It was really well put together and a great day. Also attended Ag Day this morning at Miano. So Ms. Diaz-Harper, thank you for the invite. I appreciated that. And it was great, again, seeing the kids so excited going around, look at the bunnies, and then looking at the goats and the hogs, and just visiting all the different presentations that were there. They had, as Mr. Lieb mentioned, the tomato Morningstar was there, tomato plant. They had some farmers there with plants. They had a couple of huge tractors. So the kids got to experience a lot of what was going on in our community, because this is happening in Los Banos. And I know that we have a lot of students that have probably never been to a farm or never petted a pig. So this is an opportunity for them to actually, they didn't pet the pig, but they got to look at the pig today. And I know one of the, big cow. One of the things that I remember from my teaching and one of our trips, always as a band director, we always went to the Santa Cruz Band Review. And I remember some of my junior high students, we went to Santa Cruz, and that was the first time they ever saw the ocean. So these kind of opportunities that we bring to the kids really touch them. So thank you for putting the eggs together. I know a number of our schools do that, but I got to experience what was happening at Miano. So thanks for the opportunity to watch those kids get all excited today. So that was really, really wonderful. And with that, that's the end of my report. And we are going to go on to new business, item A, which is our school site reports. Dr. Marshall, would you like to do the introduction here?
Sure. Tonight, we have two presentations. We have Henry Miller and Lorena Flasco.
All right. Welcome, Henry Miller.
Well, good evening. I'm Stasha Rains, and I'm the principal at Henry Miller Elementary School. Have you ever heard the term Maslow before Bloom? In education, we hear it often. The idea is that Maslow hierarchies of needs must be met before students can learn at rigorous levels. Please keep this in mind as I describe a part of a typical day at Henry Miller Elementary School, and listen for those Maslow moments. At 6 o'clock, our head custodian, Joe, arrives at work, and he begins the day by opening our campus. This includes walking the campus, picking up trash, looking for suspicious objects, and sometimes even vandalism. And he's done this routine for 13 years. At 6:30, our LEAP staff arrives, and students are already being dropped off by parents because many of them often commute to San Jose for work. At 6:45, our kitchen staff arrives and prepares to serve 350 breakfasts to students every morning and 600 lunches to students in the afternoon. At 7 o'clock, the office staff and teachers begin to arrive. Around 7:15, the hallways are coming alive with good mornings and even children's laughter. By 7:30, our day is in full swing. Staff are out front greeting students, often by name and always with a smile. On the blacktop, staff watch and observe, ready to intervene when needed. And I'm not sure if you guys all know how serious tetherball and soccer can really get, but let me tell you. And first thing in the morning, the kids are ready to go. At 8 o'clock, school has started, and teachers are getting their lunch counts, taking attendance, getting students settled for the day. I begin my morning announcements, which always include a bad dad joke. The nice thing about that is that the jokes are often submitted by students around campus. And let me tell you, after all the groans are done, and yes, the jokes are sometimes really that bad, teachers are ready to start instruction. Typically around 8:45 to 9 o'clock, I'll go and walk classrooms. I go into our kinder and first grade SDC class and observe the students are practicing the days of the week with their full hand gestures and body movements. I'm engrossed. And before I know it, Mrs. Younce, our speech and language pathologist, comes in, and it's time for a group speech lesson. It's a Matt and Molly social story. Every student is engaged and prompted to respond or perform a task. And the rigor of the task is perfectly gauged to the student's ability level. And the cuteness in this kinder first grade SDC class is on overdrive. After recess duty and settling an argument over soccer, sending girls over to our wellness counselor for conflict resolution because of some social media post the night before, it's almost 11 o'clock and lunch starts in 10 minutes. Our weekly Feed the Need bags are usually delivered around this time on Thursday. For the past 5 years, members of the Rotary Club have delivered kid-friendly food in bags so that they can be distributed to our students who may have limited access to meals over the weekend. I cannot describe how humbling it is as an administrator to watch students get excited over finding their favorite box of cereal in a bag of food. I would like to personally thank the Rotary Club for all of their time, their effort to make this program a success and sustaining it even during COVID. Our students appreciate it, our families appreciate it, and it's not unnoticed. Your kindness is amazing. I asked you to keep in mind the term Maslow before Bloom. As you can see, our staff on a daily basis works hard to help students gain a sense of belonging and to help fulfill their basic needs to the best of their abilities. But that doesn't mean that we ignore academic progress or academic success. This school year, we have 2 reading intervention teachers who have provided reading services to over 200 struggling readers. Our wellness counselor has been supporting students throughout the year. She has seen students and worked with students who are experiencing social difficulties, parents who are getting divorced, and students with anxiety. She also goes into classrooms and does group social lessons, so it doesn't affect those kids' squabbles don't affect learning within the classroom. By June, we will have about 20 teachers who have been trained in the professional learning community process to help academic rigor in the future. We have implemented using eSpark. As of today, Henry Miller students have completed over 80,000 learning activities in just this learning app. We have navigated the ever-changing COVID mandates. And finally, as the year begins to come to an end, we say goodbye to 4 of our staff members. Combined, they have over 100 years of service to our school district, and I'm sad to be losing a wealth of knowledge, experience, and dedication, but full of excitement for each one of them as they finish the final chapter at Henry Miller before they retire. I would like to personally acknowledge Joe Briozzo. Joe has been our head custodian for the past 13 years and has worked for the district since 1994 for a total of 28 years. Tracy Marks has served as our library media specialist for 13 years and has served the district for 29. Ada Arvalo has served as a paraprofessional for the past 22 years. And Susan Younce has worked as Henry Miller's elementary speech and language pathologist for a total of 28 years. That's a lot of dedication, a lot of lives touched, and experience that we're losing this year. A day at any school site is never boring or uneventful. Every day is different, and it takes an entire team to make sure that the day runs smoothly. I would like to thank the staff at Henry Miller Elementary School for making it a great school site. I will conclude with every day is a great day to be a Hawk. Thank you.
Mr. Raines, thank you. All righty, thank you, Ms. Raines. And here we have Lorena Velasco.
Lorena Velasco. Hi, good evening, board members. My name is Laura Brady, and I'm the principal at Lorena Velasco Elementary School. Tonight, I'd like to highlight 2 items at LFE. First is our academic counselor, Ms. Jasmine Ortiz. Ms. Ortiz has been a valuable member of LFE this school year. She meets with students both in groups and individually, working with them on how to be successful both academically and socially. This past month, I've called upon Ms. Ortiz to assist our school in bringing awareness to the importance of cultural diversity. As elementary students learn more about themselves and the world around them, it is important that they understand and accept differences among others. Ms. Ortiz has started weekly lessons on a variety of topics such as stereotypes, diversity, injustice, and taking social action by being an upstander. An upstander is someone who stands up for another person when that person has been treated wrongly. We want our students to be upstanders and do their part to make sure that our school's diversity is recognized and respected. While these introductory lessons just scratch the surface of this issue, we have started to see the effects of Ms. Ortiz's lessons. Students are starting to show more empathy for their fellow classmates, and staff members are exploring ways to integrate and celebrate cultural diversity on our campus. Next month, we celebrate National Volunteer Week, so I'd like to publicly thank LFE's most dedicated volunteer, our parent club president, Sandra Cornejo. Sandra was not able to be with me tonight because she is at a family celebration for her son's birthday. But over the past 12 years, Sandra has volunteered countless hours to our school and our students. She works endlessly behind the scenes, so many people are unaware of her dedication to our school. Sandra always puts the needs of our students first. She has conducted numerous fundraisers in order to make sure that our students have special events and opportunities. Just to name a few, Sandra makes sure that our students have classroom incentives, end-of-the-year activities, book fairs, and most important, well, not most importantly, but I'm very thankful that she helps coordinate our school picture day, which can be very difficult and challenging to get kindergartners with their pictures taken before recess. And, you know, so I greatly appreciate that. Sandra also makes sure that the parent club provides scholarships to former LFE students at both Pacheco and Los Banos High School. This is Sandra's last year with us, as her daughter will be moving on to junior high school. So on behalf of our students and staff, we'd like to thank Sandra for her dedication to our school site. Thank you.
Ms. Brady, thank you very much. Just a couple of our 2 great schools that we have. We have so many, and all of our schools are great, so thank you for sharing your days with us. On to item B, employee and volunteer recognition. We have 3 resolutions tonight, and I would like to read the 3 resolutions. The first one is for Volunteer Recognition Week, Resolution 7-22. Volunteer recognition. Volunteers give the time of their lives. Whereas April 17th through April 23rd, 2022 is the celebration of National Volunteer Week, and whereas volunteers are eager to help out in every way and take the time to make the world a better place. Whereas volunteerism is recognized as a central partner to education, where young people have the advantage of seeing adults show respect, responsibility, fairness, trustworthiness, caring, and citizenship. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Los Banos Unified School District Board of Trustees publicly thanks and honors the many dedicated individuals who give so freely of their time, energy, and abilities to the students of this school district, not only during this special week, but throughout the year. Next resolution is Resolution 8-22 for Day of the Teacher. Teachers today, touch tomorrow. Whereas May 11th, 2022 is designated as Day of the Teacher in celebration of the teaching profession, and whereas the board recognizes that a strong public education system for all youth is essential to our democratic system, and whereas the board acknowledges the true heroes of society, our teachers, for the lasting contributions they make to our most valuable resource, our children. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Los Banos Unified School District Board of Trustees publicly thanks and honors the many dedicated individuals who give so freely of their time, energy, and abilities to the students of this school district, not only on this special day, but throughout the year, and urge the citizens of Los Banos to pay tribute to them as well. Next is Resolution 9-22, recognizing Classified School Employees Week. Together, everyone achieves more. Whereas May 15th through 2022 is designated as Classified School Employees Week in celebration of support staff. And whereas the board recognizes that a strong, successful public education system requires a team effort, and the classified employees are valued members of the district team. And whereas the board acknowledges the true heroes of our society, our classified employees, who take care of the district support functions so teachers can concentrate on teaching and students can focus on learning. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Los Banos Unified School District Board of Trustees publicly thanks and honors the many dedicated individuals who give so freely of their time, energy, and abilities, not only during this special week, but throughout the year, and urge the citizens of Los Banos to pay tribute to them as well. And just to cap off these three resolutions, a few words on a piece of paper and me reading these out really don't show our true appreciation for all of these volunteers, our classified employees, and our certificated employees. They all do so much every day for our students, and we truly appreciate everything they do and are very happy that they're part of our Los Banos Unified School District. So with that, I need a motion to adopt these resolutions. Ms. Benton?
I'll make the motion that we adopt these resolutions. Happily make that motion.
Second? Mr. Lieb?
I'll second it.
All right, we have a motion and a second to adopt these resolutions. It is roll call. Tina?
Ms. Benton? Yes. Mr. Lieb?
Yes.
Mr. Martinez? Yes. Ms. Moran?
Yes.
Mr. Munoz? Yes. Ms. Smith?
Yes.
And Mr. Pereira?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. On to item C, course adoption, first reading. Dr. Ritchie.
Good evening, Board. We have tonight before you the digital photography course approval first reading. This is an elective course for 8th graders. This is a course that will introduce students to digital cameras, to photo editing, and basics of using a digital camera, how to use photo editing applications to enhance, manipulate, and edit photos. We're always looking for electives at our junior high school that we believe that the electives provide a well-rounded education that allows students to explore areas that they may not be exposed to. This course was presented at our secondary curriculum council meeting at our March 2nd meeting, and it was approved and recommended for approval to the board.
Any questions for Dr. Ritchie? All right, seeing none, I need a motion. Ms. Smith?
I'll make a motion to adopt the course option, first reading.
All right. Mr. Martinez?
Make a second.
All right. We have a motion and a second. Are there any questions? Seeing none. All those in favor of adopting, to declare our intent to adopt the new course adoption, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? It is carried unanimously. All right, thank you, Dr. Ritchie. On to item D, and that's Dr. Ritchie again.
I'm back. So both these next two items, item D and item E, are essentially for the same thing, but they cover different areas, and so we have to have two resolutions. What these resolutions are is they are the intent, the district's declaring its intent to apply for the what do you call it? The full day kindergarten facilities grant program. This is a grant administered by the Department of Education of the state of California that to encourage districts to have full day kindergartens. By full day in this sense, we are not stating that we are looking to have a 9-hour kinder program, so to speak. What we're doing is we're using a group of programs before school, after school, preschool, and TK to provide a full day experience. The reason we're doing this is because in order to access these funds, we have to be able to state that we are providing a full day experience for these students. But how we do it is more up to us. I reached out to the Department of Education last week just to make certain before we brought this forward that our plan to offer a combination of programs would meet their requirement. They stated emphatically that yes, and they expect that many districts will be doing this and using these programs for an assortment of grants. For example, the UPK, Universal Preschool and Kinder grant that we'll bring to the board in June, as well as the Expanded Learning Opportunities Program grant that we'll bring to the board in either May or June as well. And so they're expecting districts to do this in order to provide more opportunities for our students.
All right. Any questions? Ms. Benton?
I don't have a question. I
Oh.
was simply going to make a motion
Okay.
that we approve,
All right.
that we adopt the resolution.
All right. We have a motion. Mr. Martinez?
I'll second it.
All right. We have a motion and a second to adopt Resolution 1022, application to the California Preschool, Transitional Kindergarten, and Full Day Kindergarten Facilities Grant Program for transitional kindergarten classrooms. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? And it is carried unanimously. Oh, I'm sorry. It is a roll call. I'm sorry. I got to read the script here. All right. I'm sorry, Tina. Go ahead.
Ms. Benton?
Yes.
Mr. Lieb?
Yes.
Mr. Martinez? Yes. Ms. Moran?
Yes.
Mr. Munoz? Yes. Ms. Smith?
Yes.
And Mr. Pereira?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you for correcting me on that. On to item E, Resolution 11-22, and it's basically the same thing that
It's
you
the
just
same
said.
thing, but this time it's preschool.
Preschool. All right.
Yeah.
So need a motion? Mr. Lieb?
I make a motion that we approve it. Resolution 1122.
Ms. Benton?
I second that.
We have a motion and a second to adopt Resolution 11-22, application to the California Preschool, Transitional Kindergarten, and Full Day Kindergarten Facilities Grant Program for preschool classrooms. It is a roll call. Tina?
Ms. Benton?
Yes.
Mr. Lieb?
Yes.
Mr. Martinez? Ms. Moran?
Yes.
Mr. Munoz? Ms. Smith?
Yes.
Mr. Pereira?
Yes.
Thank you.
Dr. Ritchie, thank you very much. On to item X, which is our consent calendar. And I did mention earlier that we had a change to item B1, which is the personnel actions of report of certificated employment, which you have in front of you and has been posted on the district website. There is also a correction to item C, certificated contracts, and that revised list will be posted next week. And why is it going to be posted next week? Because tomorrow is a school holiday and next Monday is a school holiday. So nobody will be working until Tuesday. So that's why it's not going to be posted until sometime Tuesday. So or Wednesday, whenever they get to it. Hopefully they'll get to it. So that list, corrected list, will be posted when we return to work. So with that, those changes which we already talked about, are there any pulls to the consent calendar? Okay, seeing none, I need a motion to adopt the, accept the, accept the, I can talk tonight, accept the, approve the consent calendar as presented, or as
Correct.
amended. Mr. Martinez.
Yes, I'd like to make a motion to approve the consent calendar as amended.
Thank you. Mr. Lieb,
Second.
thank you for going through all of my jibber jabber there for a second. So we have a motion and a second. Tina, roll call, please.
Ms. Benton? Yes. Mr. Lieb?
Yes.
Mr. Martinez? Yes. Ms. Moran?
Yes.
Mr. Munoz? Yes. Ms. Smith? Yes. Mr. Pereira?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tina. On to reporting out of closed session action. Student discipline cases and case is Ms. Benton. Go ahead.
Pupil case number 1252882168 is expelled for the current and fall semester of the 22-23 school year. Pupil is to contact the Office of Student Discipline for readmission following the period of expulsion for a review of attendance, credits and/or grades, behavior, and recommended counseling. The student is referred to Valley Community Day School.
Thank you. The motion was made by Member Benton, seconded by Member Martinez. The vote was ayes, Benton, Lieb, Martinez, Moran, Munoz, Pereira, and Smith. There were no noes and no abstentions and no absences. Item 2 on closed session, parental requests for early graduation for 2 Crossroads Alternative Education Center students. Those 2 parental requests were approved. Motion by Martinez, seconded by Smith. Ayes were Benton, Lieb, Martinez, Moran, Munoz, Pereira, and Smith. There were no noes, no abstentions, and no absences. Item 3, request for waiver from physical education graduation requirement for a Pacheco High School student. That action was approved. Motion by Smith, second by Moran. Votes were Benton, Lieb, Martinez, Moran, Munoz, Pereira, and Smith, yes. There were no noes, no abstentions, and no absences. Item 4, leave extension request for a certificated employee. The leave extension was approved without medical benefits. The motion was by Member Smith, seconded by Member Benton. Ayes were Benton, Lieb, Moran, Pereira, and Smith. Noes were Martinez and Munoz. There were no abstentions and no absences. Item 5, public employee discipline, dismissal, release, reassignment. In closed session, the board took action to release 1 non-tenured certificated employee pursuant to Education Code Section 449954B, effective at the end of the 2021-22 school year, and directed the superintendent or his designee to issue all appropriate legal notices. The roll call vote was as follows. There were 7 ayes, no noes, no abstentions, and no absences. That was all of the action we took in closed session. Next item is item 12, which is discussion, information, and future agenda items. Does anybody have any? Seeing everybody shake their head no, that means there is not going to be any of those. Next item is closed session, and we're sorry we were there a little bit longer, about 10 minutes into 7, we started, 7:10 or so, so we can finish up with our closed session and not have to go back. So we have no closed session to go back into, and so we have nothing to report, which is the next item on the agenda. And the last item on the agenda, before I say we're going to be adjourned, I noticed that a couple of times tonight we had some people who kind of shared their philosophy and things and their quotes, and I'd like to share one of my quotes that I use with my band students almost every day, and it's not the one that everybody, if there's any band students listening or band parents, they're all going to say, I know what he's going to say, and his practice does not make perfect. Perfect practice makes perfect. But that's not what I'm going to say tonight, even though it's true. So I got two quotes, but what I want to say is, and I think it's happening, and I hope it continues to happen, is never let being good get in the way of being great. With that, we are adjourned tonight. Safe travels home, and have a great 4-day weekend for our school employees, and see you next month.